Guys, my worst fear has been actualized. I've been referenced in a South Park episode. I'm so scared. I'm gonna blind duet to it right now. Here we go.
I was telling you, Sheila, these new drugs are pretty amazing. I was feeling so ashamed of myself, watching Randy go out and exercise all the time and not eating as much. But I just don't have the same kind of willpower he has.
Which of the drugs are you on, Sharon? Ozempic, Mounjaro?
Oh no, I talked to my doctor. He said insurance would only pay for those if I had diabetes.
But if you can't afford them, then how are you managing your weight?
Don't you know, Sheila? Now there's a whole new obesity drug for those of us who can't afford Ozempic and Mounjaro. I've controlled all my cravings to be thinner with Lizzo.
It's Lizzo. FDA-approved Lizzo makes you feel good about your weight, and it costs 90% less than Ozempic.
I've lowered my standards and my expectations.
It's Lizzo. In case studies, 70% of patients on Lizzo no longer cared how much they weighed.
I don't give two shits.
It's Lizzo. Lizzo helps you eat everything you want and keep physical activity to a minimum. Some patients report constipation while listening to Lizzo. Stop listening to Lizzo if you experience suicidal thoughts. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis, hypothermia,
the fucking album?
and out your ears. Are you living with concerns of obesity?
Ask about the power of not giving a fuck with Lizzo.
Period. That's crazy. I just feel like, damn, I'm really that bitch. I'm really that bitch. I really showed the world how to love yourself and not give a fuck to the point where these men in Colorado know who the fuck I am and put it on their cartoon that's been around for 25 years. I'm really that bitch and I'll show y'all how to not give a fuck and I'm gonna keep on showing you how to not give a fuck. Oh, Lizzo, bitch.
The more I look at these videos, the more I think to myself, what a bunch of useful idiots these people are. The hilarious thing is the people who follow and support Lizzo will watch this video, look back at themselves and say to themselves that they are still a bad bee. South Park is usually good at making videos like this who appeal to the masses and appeal to the mass delusion that a lot of people in today's society go through. The fact that Lizzo came out of the end of this video and said what she said just goes to show you how stupid people are. It's literally like someone leading sheep to the slaughterhouse and the sheep are just following blindly. And the people who support Lizzo and the body positivity movement are the sheep being led to the slaughterhouse. It's a sad yet fascinating thing to see.
You're a feminist.
100%.
What is the difference between a feminist and a knife?
What sort of a comparison is that? I don't understand.
Threaten to answer.
Yeah.
At least a knife has a point.
It's interesting to me that people can't seem to grasp the fact that I'm a lesbian.
You're a guy.
Nor can they let go of their incessant need to tell me that I'm not a lesbian.
You're not a woman.
But let me just remind you that sexuality, by definition, refers to the gender identity of the people that you're attracted to. Gender identity, not body parts.
Not exactly.
Sexuality is not about body parts.
Enough! Enough of this! I say enough!
If dictionaries had pictures in them, if you pull up the word stupid, you'll find a picture of this person and the whole ABCD community tagged beside that picture.
Why is that valid? How am I a fascist? You want to talk?
Mark, that's right. So I was just saying,
These people just throw out words that they don't know the meaning to because all of their friends say the same words. Once again, I'll let you guys realize that these people are the same people who will leave college and also the same people who will go into the world and vote for the leaders of our society. Let that sink in.
Oh, sorry. Hey, I thought you were somebody else for a minute there.
Oh, hey.
Before we get back into the video, I need everyone to turn on their post notifications so that you get notified whenever one of my videos come out. Like the video as much as possible, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow me on Twitter at YinkaThatGuy. Let us get back into the video.
Here's your bill.
Thanks.
I got it. I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need you to pay for my meal.
Okay, thank you.
Why is there so many numbers?
That's the total, without tip.
Oh, I thought it was the phone numbers. You know what? I'm feeling super traditional today.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right.
You can take it.
Thank you. I'm so honored.
Well, that's a lot.
You could be strong tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
When the numbers are low.
Do you think maybe there'd be a women's, a men's, and then that community, you know, have their own?
If we create a third category, it's really just another place for men to win. It will be a male who identifies as a woman beating out the females who identify as men.
No third category. So Mr. Thomas, William Thomas, could have had a delusion in his head that he's a woman while competing against other men. Instead, we had to reconfigure all of our systems so Riley, with XX chromosomes, had to compete against delusional freak with XY chromosomes, so then she had to tie. Here's the problem with the trans thing. Why do we have to change our systems for your mental problem? We don't. Compete in the chromosomal category that you were born into.
Or here's an idea, and I want people to hear me out on this idea. We can all just gather together and tell these people the truth as to how you can't change your gender. That might just be a thought.
Y'all, I survived my first week as a middle school teacher.
How proud you must be.
Here's some highlights. I had a student on the very first day tell me that she liked my flag and told me that she has a very similar one at home, and it made her real happy to have one in her classroom.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
I had another student tell me that I'm already his favorite teacher, but shh, don't tell anybody.
I think that pretty much sums it up. I found it at Spencer Gifts.
And a nice thing for me is I got my Alexa set up finally. Alexa, turn on the lights. Okay.
You're amazing. You figured this all out already.
I hope the rest of y'all that are in school are having just as fabulous of a week as I am.
Sell crazy someplace else. We're all stocked up here.
Asking anyone to respect me. I'm demanding it. When I tell you what my pronouns are, I expect you to use them. I deserve baseline human respect. You don't have to tolerate me, you don't have to accept me, you don't have to like me, but you do have to respect me.
These are the same people who say, why do we care, and we should be able to do what we want to do with our bodies. Until people disagree with them, they want people to do and say exactly how they want you to do and say.
You always had preference?
No.
What changed?
I dated a white person.
And what happened?
He called me a colored person, not person of color, colored person.
Yes, there are people that are this stupid.
So, as a fat person, I often dread medical appointments because of blatant medical fat phobia. The last OB appointment I went to, the provider blamed everything on my weight and told me that I needed to go on a medication that made me feel really terrible. This OB appointment that I just went to, I've been dreading, and the provider was amazing. She asked me what my pronouns are. She asked me about my name. She made me feel super comfortable, asked me about my trauma history so that she knew how to touch me in ways that were not harmful. She just was like great. And I was crying before getting my blood drawn because I just never have good experiences with medical providers, and so I don't know, I just wanted to share.
Or maybe, just maybe, we should go back to primary level education and listen to what we saw in biology classes, where your health is affected by how fat you are. That's just an idea, but you don't have to listen to me if you don't want to.
I am starting a new job on Monday, and it's a teaching job, so the kids are going to call me either Mr. or Mrs. Jamie. It depends on what I want, but I, as a non-binary being, I don't know what to pick. I feel like Mrs. would be easier for the kids, but Mr. makes me feel better, but I also kind of want to try mix, but I don't know if the kids can do that. And then what do they do when they ask me if I'm a boy or a girl? I'm not. I don't know.
Explain that to some kids too.
It's young kids. My class is gonna be 4-year-olds.
She claims she's not a boy or girl. She's teaching 4-year-olds. Good luck, kids.
I am so tired of white men failing up. This lack of accountability is a shameful, inadequate, and deeply unsatisfactory, and it is re-traumatizing.
I am so tired of black people complaining about how much of a loser they are. I'm so tired of black people complaining about how much they're victims and blaming on other people other than themselves. I'm so tired of black people pointing the finger at other people other than themselves. But hey, let's not talk about how much of a failure we are. Let's point the finger at other people and complain about them.
There's evidence of people who were transgender in ancient Greece, Rome. Judaism is an example of a religion that acknowledges, I think, 6 or 7 genders.
I don't think that's quite true. And my evidence for that would be in the very first book of the Torah, in Genesis. One of the most prominent lines is that in the beginning, God created man. Both male and female created he them.
It's not, but Judaism, I think what the original translation, I can't cite my source right now, okay? But from what I've learned going to different religious schools, they said that the original text said Adam and Eve as in one being.
Well, man. So in the earliest chapters of Genesis, you have the creation of man in Adam. And then Eve is created from Adam's rib, but she would be the other sex. What you're citing is this line that a lot of people who are pro-transgender will say, which is, actually in some Native American tribe that I can't quite name right now, I'm sure they believe in a third and a fourth and a fifth gender, but that just isn't true. That's been made up by white liberals.
You know the movie Mulan, Disney Mulan?
I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it.
Mulan,
Yeah.
dresses as a man, right, goes to war. That's based off of true history.
Oh, yes, cross-dressing has occurred in
just
history.
cross-dressing, but people who
In
went
Mulan, did the female character think she was a man?
No.
Oh, okay.
Let's just say that what she said is actually true, and there are evidence of people who are transgender back in the day. There is also evidence of people who are cannibals. That doesn't make what they were doing correct.
Hello, doctor. Looks like I need an abortion.
An abortion?
Yeah, I've got one growing inside me. Now, you're gonna scramble its brains or just vacuum it out?
Mrs. Garrison, you can't have an abortion.
Don't you tell me what I can and can't do with my body. A woman has a right to choose.
No, I mean you're physically unable to have an abortion because you can't get pregnant.
But I missed my period.
You can't have periods either. You had a sex change, Mr. Garrison, but you don't have ovaries or a womb. You don't produce eggs.
You mean I'll never know what it feels like to have a baby growing inside me and then scramble its brains and vacuum it out?
That's right.
But I paid $5,000 to be a woman. This would mean I'm not really a woman. I'm just a guy with a mutilated penis.
Basically, yes.
Oh boy, do I feel like a jackass.